I think moon people came to the blue sea 1522 years ago. Then, the moon people deepened their friendship with the people in the blue sea, and 900 years ago, of the moon people and the blue sea people founded the Great Kingdom. And due to the moon people's technology and the abundant resources of the blue sea, the Great Kingdom had been developed together. I know it might sound like a far-fetched theory, but I've found evidence that can be discovered in the original language. I'll explain everything in this video, so once you've watched it to the end, let me know your opinions. Anyway, welcome to another episode of Dawn Dusk. On this channel, I share information and theories in the original language. I'd like to start a new project if we can reach 10,000 subscribers. If you're not subscribed yet, you're always welcome to join us. Let's become Nakama beyond borders. Did you know that there are 2 calendars in the One Piece world? I think this part hasn't been translated well, so I'll translate it directly. In chapter 228, while Nami is reading Mont Blanc Norland's diary, she says, "Wow, a diary from 400 years ago. The year 1122 of the Sea Circle, June 21st, we set sail from the vibrant city of Villa." In Japanese, it's written as Kaien Reiki, where means the Sea Circle calendar. As I mentioned, there is another calendar in the One Piece world. Let's recall chapter 203, where Robin reads a false sentence from the poneglyph in front of Crocodile. Robin says in the original version, "Kira ruled the kingdom of Alabasta until the year 239 of the 10 Reiki. Then in the year 260, the era of began." 10 Reiki means the sky calendar. So there are 2 calendars, the Sea Circle calendar and the sky calendar. The Sea Circle calendar was adopted 1522 years ago because Nami read the diary from 400 years ago in the Skypiea arc, and in that diary, the Sea Circle calendar is mentioned as being in the year 1122. On the other hand, Robin mentions the sky calendar. As you know, the Alabasta Palace was built about 4,000 years ago, so the history of Alabasta goes back at least 4,000 years. But what could have been used before the Sea Circle calendar was introduced 1522 years ago? It could have been the sky calendar. Therefore, I think the people from the Moon City came to the Blue Sea 1522 years ago. I have a theory. I hypothesize that the people of the Moon City and the people of the Blue Sea built the Great Kingdom together. But why can I say that? By the Moon City people, I mean those seen by Enel in the mural. They could be the ancestors of Shandia, the inhabitants of Angel Island, and the inhabitants of Burka. Now they live in the Sky Island. In my opinion, the reason why they live in the Sky Island might be that they needed to isolate themselves from the world. Like Wano Country, Mokomo Dukedom, Fishman Island. In my theory, the ancient kingdom was built by the technology from people of the Moon City and the Blue Sea people. So, the government would try to erase even the Moon City people if they lived on the land. But the Shandians lived on land until 400 years ago. But what were they doing? They were trying to completely eliminate foreign invasions. Wiper wanted to let Nolan's descendants know, "We are right here," by ringing the bell from the sky to the earth. On the other hand, I think that 800 years ago, the Shandians wanted to let others know, "We are right here," from Jaya to the sky or to their companions. In cover 472, it is written, "Due to a lack of resources, his people headed towards the blue planet." I think they first landed on Sky Island. The people of the Moon City and the Blue Sea deepened their friendship by traveling back and forth between the Sky Island and the Earth in the Blue Sea using Baron Terminal. Do you remember Baron Terminal? Uruj was there in chapter 795. Now in ruins, this suggests that it was once used as a station between the Sky Islands and the Earth until about 800 years ago. In the world of One Piece, you could travel to the universe with the Baron. And after the ancient kingdom was defeated, Barren Terminal would have been blocked to isolate the people from the Moon City by the world government. To support this hypothesis, I would like to explain something. As I said, there are two calendars in the world of One Piece. But what exactly does the sea circle calendar and the sky calendar mean? Why did it change? I believe perspective is important. The sky calendar could have been created by the people of the Blue Sea. We humans also create a calendar based on the cycle of the sun and the moon. The sun and the moon exist in the sky from our perspective. So, even in the world of One Piece, before the people of the Moon City, the people of the Blue Sea lived following the sky calendar. On the other hand, the sea circle calendar must have been created from the perspective of the people of the Moon City. They can see that the planet where Luffy and his friends live is round and blue. So I think that before 1522 years ago, they landed on the blue planet and then deepened their friendship with the people in the Blue Sea. By the way, do you remember when Chandra and Mokomo flourished? In chapter 261, according to Robin, the year 402 of the sea circle calendar, the city thrived over 1100 years ago, and it destroyed 800 years ago. Shandora has been developing since 1100 years ago. In chapter 802, according to law, the history of the Mokomo dukedom spans 1,000 years. I've got a theory about the history of the Mokomo dukedom and the minks. If that piques your interest, hit the like button and let me know. Once we reach 1,000 likes, I'll share this theory with all of you. It's likely that the people of Chandra and the Mokomo Principality interacted with the people from the moon, which I believe played a significant role in the advancement of their civilizations. It's plausible that Wano Country and Fishman Island had interactions with individuals from the moon. And I think their technologies and ideas have significantly influenced many aspects of the Blue Sea. That's why the calendar used throughout the Blue Sea was adopted with the knowledge of the people of the Moon City. "22 years ago, there was a globe in the library in O'Hara. The knowledge about the universe would have been brought by the people of the Moon City. And I think they founded the Great Kingdom to build civilization together. This is the entire reason why I hypothesized that the people of the Moon City and the people of the Blue Sea built the ancient kingdom together. Let me know your thoughts. Anyway, one very interesting thing is one of Luffy's moves. Gomu Gomu no rocket. So far, the only known method to reach the universe is the balloon. What do you think inspired this move? Was it his childhood imagination, or does a rocket really exist, or because Nika knew?